In the next couple of weeks, December 19th to be exact, electoral votes will be cast. And while being selected as an official elector is a big responsibility, it also comes with hardships. That is especially true for Michael Benarian. He is a college student from Michigan who will cast his electoral vote for President-elect Donald Trump, and he's joining us now. Michael, thank you for taking the time out. We do appreciate this. And I understand that you have received some messages, obviously some lobbying from people. You've also received threats. Tell us about this.
Yeah, and thanks for having me, by the way. I appreciate it. Yeah, so obviously this election cycle was pretty divisive, and unfortunately, it's bled over into the weeks following the election, and I've just been inundated with some death threats, death wishes, generally angry messages trying to get me to change my vote to Hillary Clinton or another person. And unfortunately, it's just gotten a little out of control.
But in Michigan, I mean, aren't you required by law as an elector, or the body of the 16 electors are required to cast their votes in a certain way? It's not as if you have discretion here, right?
Yeah, that's correct. If people would just Google it, I think they'd know a little bit more about the process. In the state of Michigan, we have laws that prevent faithless electors. And so essentially what happens is if I try to vote for somebody else, which, to be clear, I don't want to, but if I tried to, I'd just be removed and replaced by another elector. So it's really a pointless endeavor.
What have people said to you? What are the threats?
Well, I've had people talk about putting a bullet in the back of my mouth. I've had these death wishes of people just saying, I hope you die, or do society a favor, throw yourself in front of a bus. Just a lot of angry messages. And unfortunately, I think a lot of these people don't understand that threats over the internet are threats. It's just because you're behind a keyboard doesn't mean that they're not legitimate. And so I would hope that people would start to realize that, and also realize that, again, as electors from Michigan specifically, we don't even have the power to change our votes.
I want to talk to you about something that former presidential candidate Al Gore, who, as you know, won the popular vote in 2000, but obviously lost the Electoral College. He's defended the Electoral College as an institution, but now he's not doing that. This is what he says. He says, I've changed my mind on that. I do think that it should be eliminated. He goes on to say that eliminating the Electoral College, quote, would stimulate public participation in the democratic process like nothing else we could possibly do. Our democracy's been hacked now. It's pathetic how our system is not working today. You would make the opposite argument, that actually the system is working.
Yeah, it absolutely is working, and it's a shame to hear him say something like that. The Electoral College is such a beautiful system. It's one of those things that makes America so unique. It ensures that people from small states have a voice in this election process. You know, the state of California, the state of New York, they have large populations, and they have the power to sway these elections, and they do have a voice in this process. California has 55 electoral votes, and I think going to a national popular vote would silence so many voices across the country. So it's really disappointing to hear someone say that, especially an ex-vice president.
Certainly some of these people in these big states look at these, or certainly the early states in the primary system, and then some of the states in the Electoral College system that are swing states. And of course, it upsets them opposite what you're saying there, Michael. But we certainly appreciate you being with us. And can I ask you real quick, are you going to report to the police anything about the threats?
Yeah, actually, I just had a very nice meeting with my local police department, filed a police report, and we'll be doing some more things going forward with that.
Okay, Michael, good luck with that.